everyone, it's Ashley with Going Crochetzy, and today I am doing the Crochet Your Collection Challenge by Stacy Makes and the Cozy Buckeye here on YouTube. Here is what the challenge is, and I got nominated by Stacy to do this challenge. So I was really excited to be able to be nominated to do this because I have a lot of patterns that I need to do. I did 5 patterns today, and it doesn't even touch what I have in my collection of patterns that I have started. And so I'm really excited that I was able to do some patterns, and I'm probably going to do another one of these videos for some more patterns, because I tried to do this last year, maybe around the same time. It was summertime. I remember that when I tried to do some of my collection of patterns, and I think I did 7 or 8 of them, maybe. I don't know. It's in my videos from last summer of doing all kinds of patterns. I had like a sandworm, Beetlejuice sandworm, and cheeseburger, crab, and everything else that I had crocheted that was in my queue that I had been holding on to for some time. And so now I'm excited that I was able to get challenged to do it again, because it motivated me to try to do some more of my patterns, especially since I have definitely increased my collection of patterns. So what I thought would be fun to do for these is I'm going to do them from the pattern I have had the longest. I actually looked it up because I bought all of these patterns from Etsy, so it gives you the exact date that I purchased the pattern and from the creator and what it is. So I thought it would be fun to go through from my oldest pattern up into the newest pattern that I have created. It doesn't mean these are the oldest and newest patterns that I have in my collection. It's just the ones that I have created for this specific video. So let's go ahead and get started showing off some of this stuff. Now, this first pattern is from DanArtEstonia. I'm not sure if she still has this pattern available. Her name was Olga. I know that after I had purchased this pattern, I had to double check in with her to get it because I hadn't downloaded it into my files yet. And I think she has since then taken it down from Etsy. If not, I will have it down in the description box. I'll have all of these patterns down in the description box if they're available for you guys. I bought this pattern on October 11th of 2023, and it's the mouse from the Gruffalo book. So it was a pattern collection. It was the Gruffalo and the mouse that goes with the Gruffalo. Story behind that, my son and I love this book, and so we were reading it at least once a week at that time in 2023, a couple of years ago now. I bought the pattern so I could create him the Gruffalo and the mouse with it. I never made the Gruffalo yet, so I definitely need to make that Gruffalo, don't I? Yes, he's over there. So you still want the Gruffalo? Yeah, so I have to make the Gruffalo next. I'm not sure I have enough of the right colors, so I definitely have to order some more yarn to make sure I have enough of the yarn to make him. But this was the mouse from the pattern, and he is so cute. The only change that I really made for him is his eyes. So in the pattern, it calls for some safety eyes and some white felt behind it. I just chose to do embroidered eyes for it. I felt like it gave the same effect with less work, honestly, in my opinion, because I didn't have to cut out felt, find felt, cut it out, and all of that. I did find a couple tiny little errors in the pattern. There was one with the legs, I believe it was, where you should do 19 rows for the brown part of the pattern, but then after it was in parentheses, it was like 5 rounds or 4 rounds or something like that. So that was just a teeny tiny little error in the pattern, but other than that, it worked up very easily. You do have some sewing that you have to do. You have to sew on the ears and this little belly patch and the head to the body. But I believe everything else is crocheted within, and it turned out very cute. I like the size of it. And yeah, I enjoyed making this pattern. So like I said before, I haven't checked yet again, but I know that there was some issues going on because it was from a book. So I'm not sure if she still has this pattern online or not. If she does still have it on Etsy, it will definitely be in the description below. Okay, moving on to pattern number 2. This one is from a creator you have seen me make many patterns from before, and that is MadelineMaeCo. This pattern was bought on December 15th of 2023, and this is the Biddy belly coon from her critters collection. I have made the squirrel from that collection, but I have not made any of the other ones. I decided to make this raccoon, and it couldn't have come at a better time because I did just have a market and I had 2 people ask me if I had any raccoons, and I was like, no, I don't, but I have the perfect pattern to create that. And I actually want to create my own self-sitter of a raccoon, but I just haven't come out with that yet. And I'm probably going to be taking a break from pattern designing for the next few months since I do have a bunch of markets coming up and I just need to get some work done to create plushies for all of these markets. So that will wait. So I definitely enjoyed making this guy. Now this one is one of her older patterns, and so there was a lot of sewing. Nowadays she has a lot of the crocheting within the rounds for the tails and everything else, but for this pattern it definitely did have a lot of sewing. You had to sew on the arms, the eye patches, the muzzle, the ears, and the tail. So lots of sewing involved. You do crochet one leg and then the other leg, and you work your way up for the rest of the body. So I did find that the nose seemed quite long on this guy. Next time I do this, I would probably do one less row for the nose because it does poke out quite a bit. But I don't know, it gives him some character, and he has those little eye patches, you know, the bandit, the trash bandit. So he turned out cute, and he's a good quick he's a good size, but for the amount of sewing that was involved in him, I think I would try to figure out how to crochet which rounds I would need to add the tail and the arms in to make it a little bit quicker, so I have less sewing to do at the end of the project, so it gets done a little bit sooner. But yes, this guy, of course, I love all of MadelineMaeCo patterns. And they always do well at my markets, so I can't complain about that. And so I have one more of those, and I do have a few more patterns from her that I have not done yet. So those might be in another Crochet Your Collection challenge in the future. The next pattern up was from PeachPuffPatterns. And this pattern I bought on May 5th of 2024, and it was for my Muffin plush toy. So it's Muffin from Bluey. Now I did do Bluey, and I think I might have done I'm not sure if I did a bingo or not. I might have done a bingo. I'm not really sure on that, but I definitely did a Bluey. But I hadn't done a Muffin, and I don't know, something about Muffin, if you've ever seen the show, something about Muffin just has a special place in my heart. She's just kind of more of the wild child, troublemaker, cousin of Bluey and Bingo. And so I definitely knew I wanted to make a Muffin. Now, for this pattern, there's a lot of sewing. You have to sew on the legs, the arms, the muzzle, the eyes, the eyebrows, the patch, the ears, and all of the tail, and all of those little patches on her body. So she took a lot more time than I would have liked to have taken. And I think next time around, I would be able to figure out where to add the legs and the arms and the tail in within the body during the whole process of creating her body, so that it was quicker to do, because you do create all of those pieces first and then you sew them on at the end. So it just makes sense that you could be able to add those in as you're going through the rounds. The only thing I don't like about Muffin is I feel like the patches kind of look blotchy to me. the way they were created, it's more of like a square than a circle. And I don't know, I feel like I didn't do a good job at sewing them on. They just kind of look like warts or something on her body. So I'm not a huge fan of those little patches, but she does have them within the show. I'd probably create them a little bit different the next time I made her. She has a lot more patches than Bluey or Bingo do. They just usually have like 1 or 2 bigger patches. So it was a lot more sewing on, and I just don't like the way they turned out on her. I feel like they look weird and awkward and like they are out of place. So I might have to fix those in the future or just take them out and have her without her patches. But other than that, I think she came out pretty cute. I stuffed her nice and firm. I liked her body and how she incorporated all of the color changing within her body. That was really easy to follow. And I did enjoy making her, other than sewing all of those patches on. The patches were like the other stuff I didn't mind so much. It was just those patches I didn't like sewing on, but she turned out pretty good. She did take me a lot longer than I would have planned for her to take. So probably won't be doing another one of her anytime soon, but she is definitely a fun one to do. Next pattern up on my list that I made was from SaucyPuffinCrafts. And I bought this pattern on November 29th of 2024, and it was for Papa Beaver. Now, I loved this one. This one was so fun. So you make Papa Beaver first, and yeah, there's some sewing involved. You sew the arms, the legs, the tail, and the muzzle on. I think you have the muzzle and the nose on. And then you do surface crochet of the ears and the little teeth in the front. But I feel like he's so special and different and sweet that he was worth doing all of that sewing for. And then you have the little baby beaver, and I love how this little baby beaver turned out. I think it's just the sweetest. I think the baby beaver alone would be so fun to do for just that small bin area. Just make a bunch of these little baby beavers because it was so cute. I really love how he turned out. He was just so sweet. And then Papa Beaver holds on to baby beaver. Now, I did not sew mine on because I wanted it to be able to, a kid to be able to play with the baby and the papa together. And it does hold pretty good, honestly. You do have to shake quite a bit. I feel like if you squeeze those arms a little bit, he will hold on to that little baby beaver. And so I really enjoyed this pattern. This was the first pattern I have actually made from SaucyPuffinCrafts, so I may have to go and buy some more patterns from her because I really did enjoy making this pattern. The last pattern on my list, the newest pattern on my list, was from Theresas Crochet Shop. Now, I know I just did a featured pattern designer video on Theresas Crochet Shop, last month or the month before, and I hadn't gotten all of those patterns done yet that I bought from her. There was a bundle pack I bought that I showed you the whale shark and the hammerhead shark from, but there was also a beluga whale and this little Mr. Sterling the plush shark that I hadn't done from that bundle pack. Now, I bought this pattern on April 21st of 2025, so it was definitely one of the newer patterns I have purchased, and I love how he turned out. He was quick, simple, and easy to do. Lots of sewing once again. You have to sew both of the side fins, the back dorsal fin, the 2 tail fins, and then this whole patch on. But the instructions were so easy breezy to follow. I felt like out of those 3 creatures that I have made from that bundle pack, the hammerhead, the whale shark, and this guy, I haven't tried the beluga whale yet, but he will come eventually. I felt like he was the easiest to follow for the pattern directions out of all of them, and I really love how he turned out, and just that like little mouth and just lining all of this up was very detailed on knowing exactly where to put these, the mouth, and I feel like it turned out so good. I probably will make another one of these in another color. Oh, and what color do you think I should make another whale in, or another shark in? You think I should make a blue shark? So Owen says I should make a blue shark. So I might have to do that. Should I do bigger yarn or the same size yarn?
Bigger.
A bigger yarn. So maybe I'll do this in a Bernat blanket yarn in the near future to see how big he turns out compared to my Perfect Chunky yarn. And as always, I did use mostly Perfect Chunky yarn for this, except for my Muffin. I did use Posh for Muffin because I had the most relatable colors for Muffin in Posh, but all of my other creations were with my Perfect Chunky. I don't know why, but when I do these videos for you guys, I prefer to do them in Perfect Chunky yarn on a 4mm hook, just because it's most familiar to me and I kind of have more of an idea how it's gonna turn out versus any other type of yarn. I just gravitate towards this yarn. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I got a little friend over here with me. He just joined in a second ago, but I know I have to nominate someone to do this challenge with me. I meant to ask them before I got on this video, but I didn't. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to challenge them, and if they can make it and do it, awesome. If not, that's no worries. But I do challenge my two crochet besties, as is what we call each other, is Kayla over at Cluck and Buzz Crochet, and also Tracy over at Blooming Daisy Creations, to do your own creations if you have a chance to. So spread the love of all of these creators, and just get some patterns done that maybe have been sitting around not getting used up. So might as well use those. You already paid for them, so you might as well make them. So I really enjoyed this video. I'm sure I'll do another one of these shortly in the future for you guys, because I definitely needed this little nudge in the behind to go ahead and get some of those patterns made, because if you are anything like me, you know you have a lot of patterns in your stash that you have not yet used. So I will talk to you guys on the next one. Let me know down below if you are going to do this challenge as well, what kind of pattern you have in your stash that you need to make and what you want to make. And also add a little emoji down below of any animal I made in this video that you liked the best, or that maybe you want to try out for yourself. And that will let me know you got all the way through the video. I hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share it with your friends, and I will talk to you guys all on the next one. So bye.